So it's just dawned on me. Hold on, I gotta get this ball. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah, it's dawned on me because I'm like walking through the woods and watching how beautiful it is out here. And I'm thinking about how it's like taking me from November to now, we're in February, to really get over the stress of my last job. Like working IT and break fix was the most stressful, frustrating, soul-sucking, like personal inside destroying, like heart-stabbing freaking job out there. It's what was it that what Jon Stewart was talking about, Alex Petty being shot in Minnesota, and like he made this comment. He's like, oh, you don't like being told fuck you for 8 hours a day? Don't work at Best Buy, don't work at Geek Squad. And I didn't work at Best Buy or Geek Squad. I worked for a franchise break fix company, but actually that's worse because those little break fix companies like don't have any guardrails like in place to protect against the general public, which are, really tough. They're really tough to work with. You've got people that are very, very good and genuine that are out there. In fact, the majority of people are, in my opinion, good and genuine. And I still think that after working IT. But there's a select people out there that are just scam artists, and they don't give a shit if you die. Like, in fact, like, to them, you're already dead because you're just this robot servant millennial that was mass produced to be taken advantage of. So they don't care. They'll just, oh my God. I did work at Best Buy once, and I remember I was helping this guy, and, I worked and lived near Lake Oswego, which if you're familiar with Oregon is, Lake Oswego. And I remember in 2020 when the tech companies were saying, oh, nobody wants to work. I can't even tell you how much of a fucking ridiculous lie that is. Because there were people who were constantly applying and being turned down who needed jobs. And businesses get money if they claim that they are actively hiring. So you men, people who believe that lie. Anyway, so I had this guy come in who he was saying that it's ridiculous that people don't want to work. It's easy to get a job. You could just go work at a grocery store. And he talked about how working at a grocery store was like the best alternative to being homeless. And I was like, after working in Safeway for 6 months, there's a reason why I worked at Safeway for 6 months. That job sucks. They overwork you just like every other job. And by the way, this guy who was saying that working at the grocery store was the best thing since sliced bread, I was helping him pick out a 90-inch OLED, all right? This guy, he was like, he probably has never ever worked retail ever. So yeah, you got to deal with those people when you fix their computers. And they're the ones who are like, stat, what do you mean you're only paid hourly? I need you now. They're calling at like 2 a.m, almost hanging themselves on the autoerotica that they're watching. And they need you to show up at their house in the middle of the night, fix their shit. So, sorry. But yeah, that's some trauma I had to go through. So, yeah, I'm definitely on this road to mending and healing and figuring out where I want to go. And I think that I'm not the only one. So that's some of the stuff I want to talk about on my channel. I don't know. I just wanted to share about that and how really it's taken a long time to really recover from my last job. It's been a few months. I've put money in my savings, so I was able to afford it. And it's just like, life is so much more than that, you know? So much more than that. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about that kind of stuff. I'll talk more about that. I'm really big in mental health. I want to talk about that. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in.